right. What, you went to the car so you can cool down after you were hot as hell for the last hour and a half out there practice?
Basically, just running to get like a crumb of silence and, my own little studio here, basically. But, yeah, man, it was I've never covered a Super Bowl, but I've covered NBA All-Star before. There were more reporters here for this than there were in Charlotte for NBA All-Star.
I just told everybody this morning that you had more people there than you would for a Heat playoff game, for any Dolphin regular season.
Absolutely.
Doesn't matter. Not even close. It doesn't matter what it is. Nothing compares to this guy.
The number I heard for today was 200.
Yeah, it's 200.
The number I have confirmed from Sunday, 500.
Yeah.
500 media credentials issued on Sunday.
Yep.
I got some pushback. I'm glad I finally have somewhere to like talk about this where I don't have to furiously type. I said it on Sunday that this was probably the biggest acquisition in American sports history, and immediately got pushback from people. LeBron, the big three, no one cares about the MLS. They're in last place. None of that matters. Y'all don't understand how damn popular Lionel Messi is.
That's pure ignorance. Those are people that don't know shit about soccer. They live only in sports in the United States, so they don't understand the size of the power that Messi and soccer has worldwide.
Like, people don't care about the NBA like that worldwide, bro. Like, they don't care about our athletes like the NFL like that worldwide. Tom Brady is everything in America. Tom Brady is a good-looking white guy in France. You know what I mean? Like, he goes to Italy. Tom Brady's not being swarmed in Italy. LeBron might, because it's hard to mistake a 6'8".
Basketball's more international. That's
like
way more.
LeBron might, but you have to be LeBron, Kobe, Steph, MJ, Durant. You have to be like Giannis. You have to be that level of talent, that level of superstar to get that treatment overseas. Like, it's not really the same outside of America. Leo Messi is drawing a crowd. It don't matter if you're in America, Thailand, Italy, Argentina, Bolivia, South Africa, Kenya. I don't care where you go. Leo Messi is drawing a damn crowd. Like, this is, from an on-court, on-field standpoint, sure, LeBron and that big three was probably the most impactful because of what it did to the NBA in the future. It kind of ushered in the big three area, the super team era. And obviously they made 4 straight NBA finals when he got there. This is not going to have that sort of on-field impact for InterMiami this season. But worldwide, InterMiami is a global brand now. It is a globally known team now. This would be like LeBron. This would be like LeBron joining Wembanyama's team in France. This would be like LeBron joining the Shanghai Dragons, man, like the Shanghai Sharks. Like, this is maybe a fringe top 10 league in the world right now, and this is the last place team on that. And the most popular athlete in the world is here.
Listen, when the big three got together, it didn't make the Miami Heat social media #1 in all of pro sports. Well, when Messi joined InterMiami, it made them #1 by miles and miles and miles and miles ahead of any pro sports team in the United States of America. That's it. 3.5 billion people viewed the intro Sunday. 3.5 billion.
That I'm gonna have to get that confirmed somewhere, because that's half the world's population. I don't know. I don't know how. Maybe streams of people watched it over and over again. I'm not really sure. I'm gonna have to get that super confirmed, because that's a lot of streams. That's a lot of streams.
That's the stat of the views.
That's a lot of streams. That's half the world. That's half not the United States. That is half the planet. Well, I saw an interesting.
The entire planet plays the sport. That's the difference. The entire planet doesn't play football, basketball, hockey, and baseball. The entire planet plays football. The entire planet.
I saw an interesting note in the replies to one of my tweets on Sunday that in comparing LeBron to Messi, nobody is saying LeBron's not a global star. Nobody's saying LeBron's not a global star. Messi has the entire population of the United States more followers on Instagram than LeBron does. It's one of those, like, I never realized how many people truly use Instagram until I look at like these like global stars. Until I look like the Shakiras and the Mbappes and the Messis. 480 million followers. Like it's far and away the biggest acquisition in sports history, in American sports history. Like it's not. I don't even really think it's close. But like just seeing that kind of
stadium he goes to this year and next year and the year after, every single seat will be sold at its highest price ever. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
That's what's got that. Nobody does shit like that, dude. It's just this guy's completely different. Now, let me ask you something. Here's the one thing that I just wonder, because obviously the play is needed and it's going to be the main source of the way you really connect with the guy. But we're Americans, bro. We're used to listening to our stars and them saying things to us, and then we're going off of whatever Tua said, whatever Brady said, whatever Aaron Rodgers said, whatever LeBron says, whatever. We're never going to do that with Messi because he doesn't speak our language. The translating shit just doesn't ever translate to Americans, because that is the lamest interviews in the world are the ones you have to translate. So there isn't going to be that kind of a connection. How much does that, in a way, kind of hurt the process? I know they're still going to be successful and sell jerseys and the place is going to be packed and all that, but there isn't that connection that we normally have with athletes here in America.
I think that as long as Americans are stubborn to pick up soccer and hesitant to give soccer a chance, but it doesn't, then that's always going to be kind of like a hamper. So like if Messi came, I think that this country is in a better position to accept a soccer star now than we were when David Beckham came in 2007. I think people knew David Beckham because he's a celebrity, not necessarily because he was this soccer phenomenon. Like Leo, he is a celebrity because of his soccer prowess. He's not a celebrity by trade. He's not like LeBron. He's not in movies and commercials. He's in commercials, but he's not like that. He's not celebrity. He is a soccer star who is so talented that the world knows him. You know, of course, he's got advertisements, he's got ad campaigns and marketing campaigns, but like he ain't outside like that. This is a family man who is very good at soccer. But it doesn't. I was like that once upon a time. You know, soccer, that's for the Europeans. We don't need to do that. We don't need all that. I was dumb. I was dumb. That was dumb. This game, like, I saw a comedian say who was like, the main complaint about soccer is what? It's too low scoring, right? It's too boring. It's like 2-3 or 2-1.
That's the idea. It's precious. I mean, that's kind of the idea.
The irony is football games are not 21-14. It's 3-2. We just attach more points to these scores, but in all reality, a touchdown is the same as a goal. So like it's 4-3. It's 4-2. You know, it's not like it's not that far off. So like I don't know, man. Football games can be plenty damn boring. I've covered some horrible games in my life. Like soccer, the anticipation and the tactics, like it builds. It's exhilarating and it's nonstop. There's no lull. So like I think if people give it a chance, start with the international competitions. Give it a chance. Like I promise, it's an exciting sport. I was just like y'all.
So the comparison I can make to Messi is Shohei Ohtani, right? Because he doesn't speak our language. He needs a translator. He's the biggest freak of all of pro sports now, actually. In all of pro sports, there is no bigger freak than Shohei Ohtani, because he's doing shit that nobody has ever done before. Not even Babe Ruth did it this good, okay? All right? So this guy is at another level, but we don't communicate with him. But yet he's still the biggest draw in baseball. He's still the guy everybody. I mean, the Yankees yesterday gave him a home run just to kind of start the recruiting process, because that's the only reason why you pitched to him last night in that moment. I mean, seriously, that was just stupid what they did. But I picked up on it. I said that was a recruiting tool right there. They gave him a gift. He deposited, and that'll be nice to when they talk in the offseason. No, seriously. But Ohtani's kind of the closest thing we have as an example to Messi, correct? In a way, the guy that can't communicate with us in our language, but we're still in awe of his talent.
I think in a way, yeah. The major difference obviously being that, I don't know, outside of Japan or the absolute baseball diehards, I don't know how many people knew who Shohei Ohtani was when he got here. Like Messi has the advantage of having a built-in fan base in America, especially as this country becomes more and more Latino based. Like, I mean, shit, what's Miami-Dade? 70% Spanish speaking?
I don't know. There's a lot of us. Yeah, there's a lot.
I think it's legitimately 70% Spanish speaking. So like I think this is the perfect market for him. I'm curious to see how MLS markets him though, because he's not, like I said, he's not a celebrity like that. Like he's reserved. He's introverted. He's not the guy that's going to be, he's not like David Beckham out here, signing autographs and
not even in Spanish is he much. Not even in Spanish is he going to give them much either. By the way,
so like they are relying on him. They are relying on him almost solely to build the MLS brand. I think he's going to try to do it more with his play, with his on-field play. And he's just that kind of draw, like you said. Unless he turns out to be, just, I don't know, a complete dud, unless he forgot how to play football. Like if he forgot the Monstars took his talent, then it's going to be a sellout every time he touches the field. Every stadium is going to be sold out, especially in this first year. Like I can't wait to see the monetary value, the value of the MLS brand, how much it increases over the next fiscal year. Because
by the way, it's the same shit that we do in football, right? They let you watch them kick around the ball, a couple of individual drills, and then they kick your ass out 15, 20 minutes later, right? Is that kind of what? Okay.
Yeah, the main difference is that we could live tweet there.
Okay.
Yeah. We can live tweet.
Because they're not practicing any kind of, strategy or anything. They're just doing regular drills. So everybody does the same drills. So it's not something that, although they do get kind of technical in football at times, even when they're doing one-on-ones, it's like, really, dude, I can't film this. Come on, but whatever. But I get it. Okay. So how was the reaction? Does he talk after practice or did he talk before? What's the deal?
I haven't gotten an update from Inter. He was supposed to talk yesterday and it was postponed indefinitely. I'm speaking with DeAndre Yedlin here within the next hour or so. So, after this, I'll probably change into that suit behind me. Yeah, I'm excited. As somebody he's somebody who has European experience. I think he played for Spurs, he played for Newcastle, he played for Southampton, for Galatasaray in Turkey. Like he knows what it means to bring that European style to MLS soccer. So, really interested in picking his brain a bit here. And just as like a burgeoning, I'm telling you, man, like
he's a good talker. He's a good talker.
I play a lot of FIFA. I've played a lot of FIFA over my life. Don't get me wrong. That's how I know certain players. But like I really started following leagues and transfer rumors and roster movement, really started following it closely over the past year. And I'm hooked, man. Like I promise, if you guys give it a chance, like it's fascinating. There's so many teams, so many levels, so many hidden gems you can keep an eye on, so many moves, so much money spent. Like it's almost like it kind of rivals the NFL in off-season or down-season activity. You know what I mean? Like they're not playing, the Premier League's not playing right now, but we're watching Declan Rice go for 100 million pounds. We're watching, will Moises Caicedo, will Brighton sell him to Chelsea? Like, because that's the cool thing. Like, you could just imagine in football if you could just buy players. If you could just buy a player, like just approach Tennessee, be like, hey, we'll give you $20 million for Derrick Henry. and that's how you trade it. Like, there's no trading. You don't have to trade about like picks or anything. It's just it's a fascinating sport. The relegation, the stakes are high. It's just it's worth it, man. It's worth it. I know we're talking a lot of soccer here. We're not really talking Dolphins yet, but like, it is that exciting, man.
Well, you're at practice. It'd be irresponsible of me to not ask about the biggest story today going on in South Florida. And by the way, the world is watching, Messi practice today because Apple had it on, so it's ridiculous. Who the hell does that? Only Messi that they're going to film his first practice. It's just silly stuff that tells you how much of a hunger there is for that guy and the move making it here.
Fans were there at 6:30 a.m. today.
I know. Yeah, I saw your post of the kid with the World Cup trophy.
I have never seen a Dolphins fan there before I am on training camp days when fans aren't allowed in. Granted, it's a little more guarded, but these people, they're lining up on the street. They got signs, jerseys, all that. I have never
the closest that you would have ever seen to it, and I witnessed it. I was there the day Ricky Williams reported for the first day. We had the entire stands full. The fire marshal could not allow anybody else in. Then you had, that green net that they put all the way around the fence in the practice?
Yeah.
Okay. They took down the green net, and there were people standing all the way around the fence.
I believe it.
Over in Davie. That was the closest that I'd ever seen, and people got there early and all that kind of stuff, because in order for you to get it, in those days, they weren't those printed tickets that they do online and all that. It was just first come, first serve. And so once they filled the stands, they couldn't allow anybody else in. And people were parking all over the place on Nova, dude. And that day, the Jimmy Day was big when he came. There was one more.
Jimmy Butler?
Jimmy Johnson.
Oh, okay. I was like, what the
Jimmy
really?
Johnson. Remember, I'm old, bro. I've been around the block a little bit.
I imagine that LeBron Day was big too. Like I imagine Shaq Day was big too.
But fans don't have access to practice. They don't watch it normally, so they can't go there and they can't really do anything.
They can't watch this either. I mean, 6:30 in the freaking morning. It's hot and sticky and humid out here, and they've got jerseys on just to get a glimpse of the guy.
Yeah. They were there early. I don't know how early, but dude, they were there early for the Ricky Williams one. That is the most impressive thing I've ever. That's the most impressive practice I have ever seen in my life, because I had never seen that many people at a Dolphin practice there in Davie. It was just like, and it was maybe one or two deep sometimes on the fence, depending on where you were. And the outside part of the fence was right off of the street. So people were there and they were on the grass, and then there's cars right behind them passing through, the university. So it was a little dangerous and everything, in a way. So it was, that was crazy. That was the only thing that I would say comes close to what you witnessed today.
Yeah, it's something special, man. It's something special.
All right, so Rick D. Man sent in a super chat. Thank you, Rick D. Man, for many of the contributions you've made. He says, I'm a Wilkins fan, but now with the run game being a thing of yesterday, does 18 million make sense anymore? Yes, I understand his sack numbers may go up with better edge play, but by how much to receive top 5 money? I still think he's going to go in the 18 range. When it's all said and done, I think he'll be somewhere in that 18 range, maybe 19. What do you think happens? To me, there's not a lot of panic for me. I think there's a lot of hot air. Eventually, the Wilkins deal gets done. The Sealer deal gets done. I'm not really that concerned, but your thoughts?
I think they get it done. I think they get it done. This is your captain of multiple years. It sends a bad message if you let your captain do everything he's asked for on the field and off, and you don't pay him. Like, literally and figuratively, you don't reward him for it. So I'd expect the deal done.
By the way, he's one of the guys that you listen to and I hear about, and they tell us how much they love him, how much they respect him, how much they want him around. We've heard that from coaches, from Chris Greer, from guys. They tell you all the time how much they appreciate him. That's why I just think it's going to end up happening.
Look,
and by the way, who's to say? Here's the thing about all of this. Who's to say? unlike Dalvin Cook's agent and Dalvin Cook, who have completely mishandled and oversold themselves so quickly that they gave their hand in, that Chris Greer says, oh, I got you by the balls, so I'm only going this far. But the other guys, who's to say that Wilkins, who's a very bright guy, and his agent aren't sitting back going, you know what, Christian? There's no hurry here. Let's wait for the rest of these deals to come in so we have a better feel for what we're asking for.
Much.
Let's not go right to the bank. We might cheat ourselves out of some money. Let's wait for everybody. Let's give it some time. There might be that game might be being played by the Wilkins camp.
I wouldn't be surprised. But like, you know what it sounds like? You know what it sounds like when players aren't getting re-signed. When you ask about Mike Gesicki, right. He's earned the right to test the market. When I was in Buffalo, Jordan Phillips had 9.5, I think, sacks. Brandon Beane at the end of the season. Jordan's earned the right to test the market. Shaq Lawson, he's earned the right to test the market. Like that, that's what it sounds like when guys aren't coming back. They're not bringing guys back.
And there's no complaints from Wilkins camp, all this, that. Oh, they haven't talked to us. They haven't sent in. There's no complaints anywhere. I kind of get the feeling that that's what's going on. That
I think he got an orange jersey during minicamp. Like he will be there. Sealer will be there. I would expect Connor Williams to be there. A name that we don't talk about. Haven't talked about much. I would expect him to be there strictly because it's not super conducive to a player's bank account to skip training camp and mandatory practices. So he already skipped mandatory minicamp. I wouldn't expect him. I'd expect him to be there. Pay your center. If you're Chris Greer, pay your center. But if I'm him, I'm telling him, look, dude, we have to think about our priorities here with all due respect. When we get Christian done, and we'll talk to you. If I'm Chris Greer, that's what I'm telling Connor Williams camp. Show up, keep doing your job. You will be taken care of. There's a hierarchy here. This is our homegrown first round pick. Respectfully, he's got a little more skin in the game than you here. We're going to take care of him first.
I'm with you there. All right. I got to ask you the Dalvin Cook thing. Does it happen next week, right before camp starts? And does he come to the Miami Dolphins? What's the percentage?
Hey, like I said, it is July 18th. So I said, the week of around the 20th is when I think I'll start taking things a little more seriously. We'll see. I don't have any. I wish I had more, inside information about what Dalvin is thinking and how he's this and that. I think there's that $4 to $7 million a year range. That's the wheelhouse. That's what'll get it done here in Miami from the Dolphins' perspective. I don't know what he wants, and what makes it even harder is that none of these franchise tag guys have signed extensions. So there's no real market. Nobody has set the market for a running back this offseason. So we don't know what the value is. We don't know the value. Tony Pollard, franchise tag. Barkley, they didn't want to pay him more than 11 mil or something like that. I think it was 11 was the number. Josh Jacobs, they didn't want to pay. So, like, if those guys, and I take those guys over Dalvin. So, like, if those guys aren't getting that, I don't know what Dalvin wants.
Yeah, no, I think he ends up a Dolphin when it's all said and done. I thought his agent, that $7 million story from Minnesota, that was the most desperation move I've ever seen by an agent in a long, long time. They have mishandled the way you go about negotiations this offseason. They did a poor job of selling themselves, and I think they also didn't measure this right. I think they expected a lot more than what ended up happening. I think they're shocked. By the way, were you shocked at all the people that were shocked on social media, whether it was media, whether it was agents, whether it was running backs, shocked that they're not getting the money? I'm like, what the hell?
A little bit, because there's been kind of a renaissance of running backs, rising to prominence and effectiveness, and running backs going in the first round. So I thought maybe the tide was starting to turn a bit, but I don't think there's an easy solution to it. I think they do deserve to be paid. I think maybe it may be the fair thing to do is to shorten the rookie contracts for running backs specifically, like have position specific lengths, because they're wasting their prime right now on a rookie deal. They're wasting their good first 4 or 5 years.
Well,
it could be if you're a first-round running back, 5 years.
The owners aren't going to make that suggestion, by the way.
Not to mention, you probably got ran to death in college playing for free.
Right.
So, like, it's a tough position to be. It's a tough position to be in, literally.
Well, the players' union is the one that's better fighting for it, because the owners are going to love keeping it the way it is, because they don't even have to give a running back a second contract anymore. You know, and it's like what Sean was talking about earlier on the show, that you're not even going to get first-round money anymore. You'll be lucky to get second-round money. You're probably going to get third, fourth-round money to start your career, and you're not even going to see a second contract. So there used to be a lot of first-round running backs, and they all used to see a lot of second contracts. Now you're going to barely see any in the first, barely any in the second, and you're going to barely see any ever get a second contract. That's some screwed up stuff, dude.
Yeah, I read somewhere that Le'Veon Bell ruined the running back market for everybody when he sat out a year, got his big deal, and then did nothing. Right. But like when you look at the guys who have signed second deals of the past, we'll call it decade, big deals. You know, Christian McCaffrey still effective. Derrick Henry still effective. Zeke Elliott was effective and then tailed off. Alvin Kamara
that became a bad deal. The Georgia kid that signed with the Rams became a bad deal.
Not Gurley.
Yeah, there was another one that also became a bad.
I think Marshawn Lynch got paid, and Marshawn Lynch worked out. So like it's not like
he was kind of worn down already at that point.
I'm saying like it's not like when you have a superstar running back and pay them, it's not like their productivity just falls by the wayside completely. But like you can also look at those teams and say the only team that has achieved real success is San Francisco and Tennessee. And San Francisco had to trade for him. They didn't pay him per se. They traded for him. Tennessee hasn't really done shit.
They were paying their quarterback too. That's where conveniently they could pay for that guy, because they weren't paying a quarterback, because Jimmy Garoppolo is earning $6 million only, and you're not paying Brock Purdy and Trey Lance's on a rookie deal. So that's why they were able to get away with that. Most teams won't do what the Niners did. What the Niners did was smart. Surround the young kid with as much as possible, make it easy for him. That was intelligent what they did, and they can afford to do that. Most teams won't be able to do that. Most teams won't do that, and especially with an injury-prone running back like him. All right, what do you got going on ESPN? Because I know you got to go.
Well, I will be on ESPN at, I think, 2:20 to talk Messi. What's it called? Nobody invite Brian Looper. I see the chat, the complaining about soccer guys. I guess y'all don't watch, but for the rest of us who are ready to join the freaking revolution, I'll be on at 2:20. And that's that. I'm interviewing DeAndre Yedlin. I don't know if that's going to be aired anywhere, but I do got to run.
All right, baby. Appreciate you, man. Have fun out there. Sure. Don't sweat too much. Stay hydrated. That is Marcel Louis-Jacques with our Welt Rheaume Miami Dolphins InterMiami report, I guess. We got to do a little bit. There's no way he's going to be at the Messi practice, and I'm not going to ask him. I'm sorry. Look, I get it. Some of you don't like soccer. I don't give a shit. Go complain to somebody else. I don't give a shit.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.